to Visual Recreation, the essential video guide to winning FML each and every week. I'm your local movie spy, Drew.
And I'm Joey, your strategy guy, and this week, let's take a shot at the new movies. Okay, so the first movie up on the slate is the newest addition to the superhero movie landscape called Bloodshot. Now, Vin Diesel stars as a soldier who is brought back to life as an indestructible killing machine. Now, he must figure out what's real and what's not. It's his first priority.
You know what's real?
What's real?
Family.
Family, of course. Yes, I knew you were going there. Now, Bloodshot stars Vin Diesel and Guy Pearce. Now, this movie was co-written by Jeff Wadlow, which you may recognize that name because he just came out with his movie recently called Fantasy Island.
That's right. Now, Pro Box Office has a long-range forecast around $10.5 million, which is a 5% decrease from last weekend's projections. It has an opening weekend range of 9 to 14 mil. A little bit more about this movie. It's rated PG-13. It's about 2 hours long, and it's getting into an estimated 2,700 theaters.
All right. Now, when looking at comps, we took a look at Hellboy, which came out April of last year in around 3,300 theaters, and it made $12 million.
Yes, and you have to remember that was coming off of a known IP, as there was 2 prior Hellboy movies to come out before that one, and it was also rated R, so adjust your molds.
Yes, and it still only made $12 million.
Yeah, and I didn't think it was as bad as everyone said it did. But let's look at another movie coming out this weekend, and that is called The Hunt.
Hunt, like Ethan Hunt.
Not Ethan Hunt, that's Mission Impossible. And it's also not about ketchup or Helen Hunt. This is about rich elitists hunting people for fun, which is not cool in my book.
Cool,
that's my spicy take on this. It's not cool to hunt humans. Now, The Hunt stars Ike Barinholtz, Emma Roberts, and Hilary the Swank.
Swanky.
Yeah.
Now, Pro Box Office has its long-range forecast at $9.5 million, which stayed the same as of last weekend's forecast. It has an opening range between $7 and $12 million. It's rated R. It's about 2 hours long, and it's going to be in an estimated 3,000 theaters.
Wow, 3,000 theaters. Now, when looking at comps, we looked at Ready or Not, which premiered in August of last year. It made just over $8 million in around 2,800 theaters, which isn't too bad. Also, The Hunt is a Blumhouse feature film, so just to let you know, they are really pumping out these movies lately.
That they are. Now, the next movie that we're taking a look at is complete opposite shift from this one. It's called I Still Believe. It's from the makers of I Can Only Imagine. This is a semi-biopic of Christian artist Jeremy Camp. Now, it's a story about his life, love, loss, and faith. I Still Believe stars KJ Apa, Shania Twain, and Gary Sinise. Now, this was also directed by Andrew and John Irwin, who gave us Mom's Night Out, Woodlawn, and, of course, I Can Only Imagine.
And not related to any of the other Irwins that are possibly in Australia.
Yeah, no relation.
That's right. Now, Pro Box Office has its long-range forecast at $13 million, which has stayed the same from last weekend's projections. It has an opening weekend range of 10 to 18 mil. That is a pretty big range, and I'm sure they're taking into account what I Can Only Imagine did, so that's why they have that long range. It's rated PG. It's about 2 hours long, and it's getting into an estimated 3,100 theaters.
Yes, I agree with you.
I can only imagine that you wouldn't agree with me.
Right. Well, I can only imagine where they got the numbers for their weekend range, because when looking at comps, we took a look at I Can Only Imagine, which opened March of 2018, making just over $17 million in little of 1,600 theaters.
That is
little 1,600
I
theaters.
still believe this movie can do something well.
We'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
In the Modar, or the movie radar, known as the Modar.
You know what is surprising to me on this week's slate is Bloodshot.
Yeah.
Which is PG-13, but with a movie like the name Bloodshot, I thought this would instantly be rated R for violence, language, and everything that you would think a Bloodshot Vin Diesel movie would be like. I thought this was gonna be like Triple X or Chronicles of Riddick type of situation.
Looking at I Still Believe, this movie I think can sneak into your Cineplex, possibly depending on the way it's priced, just because the success that I Can Only Imagine had when it came out in a small theater count, making $17 million, and then I Still Believe is in 3,100 theaters. That's a healthy amount of theaters.
If it's going to be the final theater count.
For this type of movie. Yeah, it's not like finalized, it's still estimated.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine churches taking their congregations to go see that.
Yeah.
Maybe this movie, maybe they'll do similar where they take congregation or youth groups or worship teams will go out and check out this movie. So it could see a lot of audience, especially with that amount of theaters.
Now I could see like youth groups, because this is starring CW's Riverdale Archie, KJ Apa, but I don't know about that. It's just like you have to wait and see if they're going to do that on opening weekend or not. They could wait a couple of weekends and then go see everybody, take everybody to see that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, this is about a Christian artist that could possibly be doing the same thing. We're going to take a look at Hunt. And this one looks, I don't know, this one looks interesting to me. This is one of those low stakes, high reward movies that could go well for Blumhouse. It's pretty much staying the same after being put onto the list kind of late-ish. And this one was in talks with Blumhouse for a while. And I think that it doesn't really have super named people in the movie. Like, it does have Hilary Swank, Emma Roberts. But, I mean, that's not like eye-catching stars in the movie, but I think this one could be fun. It could be like a Ready or Not, and it's getting a little bit more theaters, if that's estimated theater count is the same thing. If it gets the same PTA, it's in the double digits, which I definitely think this could hit double digits. If Fantasy Island can get 12 mil in its opening weekend, this one I feel as though could get 12 or 10. But then again, movies have been hit or miss with the Blumhouse as of late, so I feel as though this one could definitely hit double digits. I just don't know if it's making your Cineplex with those double digits, with all the new movies and all the holdovers.
Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck in Fantasy Movie League this week. And remember, sometimes you gotta risk it to get that biscuit.
Biscuit! I can only imagine what my biscuit would taste like.
Yeah, I thought you were saying. It's imagine what my Cineplex would be like.